Hey everyone, in this episode we'll be exploring Cape Agulhas. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. If I'm getting it wrong, please let me know. Hello everyone, and thank you so much. I've had some very generous donations lately that have enabled me to make some plans that I would not have been able to otherwise. And if you could give this video a thumbs up on YouTube, that would really help me out. So I left from Cape Town and made my way a little further south to Cape Agulhas. What a beautiful area, just absolutely stunning. Beautiful beaches and crazy waves. I just love it so much. The place that I stayed at was a little room for rent that was really great, and they had this sweet dog. He was so cute. I wanted to steal him and take him with me. Then I saw this marker on the beach, and this gentleman didn't quite make it to his 50th birthday. I don't know the circumstances, but as I approached my 55th birthday, it was a good reminder to live your life and to not take the time we are given for granted. So during the time I was in Cape Agulhas, it was South African International Day. And in Afrikaans, the grilling day is called Vrydag. So this is what I cooked up to celebrate like a local. And the Afrikaans was a lesson from the gentleman I was renting the room from. And this is the lighthouse at Cape Agulhas. It was really cool. And that big old light at the top, really something. And we're going to get more into why that light is so important. And then on the boardwalk, I saw this millipede, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's like crazy for me. I'm not used to seeing millipedes, and I feel like that's a big one. If somebody has some knowledge about millipedes, let me know. That seemed like a really large one to me, but we don't have them in Colorado, so I don't really know, but it was creepy. So anyway, at the very tip there's this monument, and there's a huge relief of the entire continent of Africa, and this is part of that relief, and it's really cool. You can see like the topographical formations. There's Mount Kilimanjaro there, and just the rest of the continent, and it's really a neat monument. I really enjoyed it. And then at the far end, they have the tip there that separates the Indian Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean. And that was really fun. And there was a gentleman standing there that took my picture for me. And here's my feet in the Indian Ocean. It definitely tasted a lot more like curry than the Atlantic Ocean did. So Cape Agulhas has some interesting features. There is cold water that comes up from the currents that go around Antarctica, and then the prevailing winds are from the west to the east, but there's warm water that comes down from the Indian Ocean. And Cape Agulhas is this little rocky point that sticks out where that arrow is, and it is on near the shelf that you see here in the circle that's much more shallow than the surrounding ocean. So I did a little bit of reading and learned some more about this Agulhas shelf and the waters around this area, and apparently it's very treacherous for ships. There's been like 150 shipwrecks in this area, and a lot of it is due to the unique set of circumstances set up in this area with the shallow shelf water, the cold water from the Arctic, the warm water from the Indian Ocean, and those high winds. And oceanography and geography is not my area of expertise, but from what I understand is all those factors come together and raise up the waters and make an environment where there are more rogue waves, and rogue waves can be up to 30 meters high or 100 feet. And these rogue waves are what can capsize ships and get on this rocky shore, and it's a very dangerous combination. And sure enough, not far from that monument, there was this shipwreck right off the shore there, and it was pretty remarkable. Again, I don't know anything about the ocean at all, but that seems like a pretty big boat to me to be shipwrecked. So, and this is another day I went down to the harbor during the sunrise, and it was absolutely gorgeous, and this beautiful sandy beaches, and I just love the scenery so much. Like I said, being from Colorado, this is a huge novelty to me. And then there was this guy out there fishing with the net, and I asked him if I could film him doing it. And I don't really think he was thrilled with me being there or filming him, but he allowed it. And I thought it was very interesting. Again, this is not something that I see very frequently, but it was fun for me to watch, and I'm grateful I got to film it as well so I could share it. And he was successful. It was pretty cool. I thought he could just go out there and catch his dinner. Check that out. And the gentleman I was renting the room from, he suggested not only the shipwreck, he told me about that, but then that the harbor was the best place to see the whales that come up this time of year from the Arctic waters into this bay and the shelf area. And these are the southern right whales. And I was just thrilled. I was so excited. This is from the shore, and I know it's not great quality, and I know we're just seeing little black lines, but these are live whales that I'm getting to see right from the shore. I didn't have to pay for a charter or anything. You see one spout there. If you watch closely, you can see in the spout occasionally, but there was a good sized pod. There was several whales swimming together, and I think that they must have been feeding on some fish too, because they were kind of, I don't know, there was a spout there. It just seemed like they were in a feeding position. And at one point there's birds going along too that are skimming the water. And I wondered if the whales and the birds were feeding off the same school of fish. Again, I'm not a marine biologist. I don't really know anything about the ocean, just a story I told myself in my head. And I think it could be accurate. Look at this, look at those beasts. I mean, I would love to see them closer, but it's so cool to me. And so here's me from the shore with the sunrise and see him out there swimming. This is like a dream. I couldn't believe that this was happening. And I was so grateful to just be able to walk down to the beach and see this. Okay, there's the birds. See the birds? They're skimming along there. And then there's the whale right there too. What a treat. Thank you for tolerating my poor pronunciations of Afrikaans and my layman's drawings and explanations of the unique marine environment of that area. Thank you so much for your contributions. Please go over to YouTube and give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that very much. And peace and love to you all.